Hi, Cliff Clover, Watson Realty, back in the studio with President of Watson Title Services, Gary DeCellis. Thank you, Gary, for being here.
You're welcome, Cliff.
And we're going to be talking now in this next series, something near and dear to my heart and near and dear to your heart, something we deal with all the time now in Central Florida, and that is short sales.
Yes.
So Watson Title Services, how do you help assist sellers or buyers dealing with short sales?
Well, Cliff, unfortunately, over the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a lot of experience with short sales, and we have partnered with some loss mitigation attorney firms to help us and help the agents and their client get through this process.
Yeah, because this is not an easy battlefield, people. Short sales, one of the things that I deal with, Gary, is people are looking online, they find property, and they say, oh gosh, I really love this house at 1234 Anywhere Lane. And I always tell them, hey, listen, if that's a house you really love, you better have some thick skin, because this could be a situation, if it's not something I'm the listing agent on, we need to really know what we're dealing with as far as how many loans the seller has on the property, who the loans are with. Is it with Countrywide, Wells Fargo, B of A, who knows, right? How many different types of companies. This is a pretty sticky situation. So walk me through the events. What happens in this situation?
Well, what happens is on a short sale, of course, the seller owes more money than what's owed on the property. Then the offer comes in from the buyer. As a title company, we do the title work on the property. We find out how many liens, how many mortgages, delinquent HOAs, all that. We prepare a preliminary closing statement for the short sale lender. We submit that preliminary short sale HUD to the loss mitigation company. They'll submit it to the short sale lender, and the process starts. Now, the buyers need to understand this is not a quick process. It can take 3, 4, 5, 6 months, depending on
9 months.
Right.
Yeah.
It just depends on the lender, the investors. So many of these mortgages that were started 2, 3, 4 years ago on these properties are not owned by individual companies anymore. They've been
sold off.
And they've been dissected. So whoever the servicer is may not be the actual lender. So the process needs to go to the actual investor. It takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. And please, buyer beware. The seller's broke, and the bank may not cover some of these HOA or these liens that are on the property.
That's correct.
So, at the last minute, you guys pull this information, and we find that there's, the subdivision has charged them for mowing fees or back taxes or whatever the case may be. That's the buyer's responsibility if they want that deal.
That's correct.
So, at this stage of the game, having an attorney working alongside with you in Watson Title is very important, guys, because there are so many. I've been doing short sales, Gary, as you probably are aware of, for over 5 years now. And I've invested lots of time and energy and money in learning this process, understanding how to get the asset managers to agree to the whole process, and just getting it to closing is an act in itself. But I've also found that there are many people that are not necessarily in a dire straight situation financially, that maybe they're an investor, a doctor who makes enough money. Having an attorney on your side is really important to get that done correctly in order to free up the title company to allow your closing to happen.
Well, going through the short sale process and having a professional do the negotiations for you, you have to understand that there is going to be, in most cases, a large deficit that the lender is going to forgive. And many lenders are going to come after the seller for deficiency judgment in cases like that. If you have a professional, such as an attorney, handling these negotiations for you, they're going to request and also demand from the short sale lender to waive that deficiency. So once you close as a seller, they're not going to come after you for what's owed.
Right, and that's really important. If you don't have professional representation, guys, depending on your particular situation, and we'll discuss this a little further about short sales. Obviously, title is one arm, an effective piece of the battle plan, But there are so many facets of short sales, which we are going to be discussing in our video series. Of course, if you have any more questions, feel free to log on to cliffclover.com, and you can call me direct at 321-229-5890. Gary, how can they get in touch with you?
Cliff, they can contact our office at 407-645-1310, and our website is watsontitleservices.com.
Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. You made a great choice, and I'll see you in the next video.